All right. All right, look, I'm not going to lie. I meant to go back and watch that conversation with Leviathan, but I did not have the time to. And so I continue to be not fully certain about the literal things that were explained in it.
I see.
However, but much was discussed about the nature of how writing was handled in this game, and it seems that a lot of things were happening at BioWare over the years, and writing was there at the forefront of what was going on, but a lot of characters had their specific person that was responsible for them that, you know, the team would refer back to, and then they would all have these like consultations about whether or not someone would say or do an action and so on. And it appears that there's a point where that kind of gets cut off, and then the two writers in charge just kind of like on their own push forward and created their own, or created the rest of the script without the consultation, is what I've heard.
Okay.
So,
that's weird.
When we see moments where things feel off, it's definitely going to be because different people handled different parts of this, including things like Kai Leng and Arya, you know, versus the stuff that doesn't suck. And at the same time, there's also the fact that Leviathan and some of that DLC came after the original game launched and was out, so people hit the ending, and some people wanted more info, and so Leviathan came giving extra context where there originally was none. After the fact, exactly.
Wow. Okay.
In some sort of retroactive addition to the continuity.
I see.
You know?
Commander?
Yeah.
Man. Okay. Well, after like rewatching the footage, it felt like it was basically like...
Oh yeah, you got to rewatch it. That's true. Yeah.
It felt like it was basically like, yeah, I'm Leviathan and I got my crew, and we wanted to like create an intelligence to preserve life, and then the intelligence turned on us, and we didn't like that, so we went into hiding, and we had like artifacts to watch over people during cycles, and we told the thralled races to forget about us, possibly so that they wouldn't be traced and they would stay in hiding like little bees. And after we were like, okay, but we have a chance to win now. Don't you want to fight? And they're like, no, you don't have a chance. And we're like, yeah, we do. Like, just join us and we can take care of them. And then Leviathans were like, yeah, the Reapers were bad. Like, they were traitors. They did bad things to us. So, okay, we're going to join you guys and try to fight them. And then we're going to make them our bitches again.
You've convinced us.
That's what I got from rewatching it. I don't know if I missed a bit, but
yep,
it was.
Sounds like a summary of what we got, because it sounds like a summary of something that I wish I didn't hear. So, sounds good.
Commander.
So the Reapers did not fully exterminate their creators. That suggests they are fallible, even on large or long-term scales.
How's the ship holding up, Edie?
The envelope of mass-free space we create when we travel at FTL.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as long as the Leviathans, aka the Paragreeper race, as long as they're totally in it for the right reasons, right? For noble, peaceful, justifiable, totally not going to be a problem down the line reasons.
No.
Sounds good to me.
Nice to have everyone back on dry land, so to speak. You know, whenever we discover something amazing like that, I wonder what else might be out there. Or even right under our noses.
Yeah, all these things that we don't know about, huh?
Hey, Shepard.
You know,
Hey, Shepard.
Maybe the final frontier should remain a frontier. Why do we need the answers, right? Why can't we just appreciate the pale blue dot for what it is? And
No
just,
issues to report. No
you know,
issues to report.
try to live our lives to the best. Sometimes you don't need it.
We don't need all the answers all the time.
Too much questions. That's what I say.
Head empty.
Head empty. Space big.
Shepard, I looked over your mission report. Gotta say, it feels like we've been after these Reapers forever. From Sovereign to Leviathan, they've been a pain in the ass the whole time. But at least we're starting to see the big picture.
Yeah.
Never really thought we'd get any answers. Doesn't change much, but it does make this war feel a whole lot bigger.
I disagree.
Not right now. Not right now.
All right, have fun, buddy.
I mean, one thing's for sure. I don't think we ever felt like the battle was not going to be, you know, the climactic end of one spanning hundreds of thousands of years, right? Like, from day one, we knew that, like, you were the conclusion of a giant cycle of annihilation that's been going on. So this doesn't change that too much. It just... Well, anyway. I like that we see echoes of ourselves and our flaws in the aliens that we hang out with in this world. That does wonders for characterizing them and quote-unquote humanizing them, because you relate, and so you like them more, and you understand them more, and you understand the political and cultural struggles of these races clashing with each other in a way that is very realistic. I don't know that
to something so huge, so alien.
we needed to apply that to
I
the
hope it
Reapers as
helps
well.
Against the Reapers. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Liara. At the end of all things.
Hey, isn't Tali waiting on the Citadel for a conversation?
Yeah, apparently. And it's been a while from what I've been told, right? Okay, let's go talk to people on the Normandy, and then we can go check out what's going on the Citadel, and maybe do some codex and some
I
purchases.
studied your human religions, Commander. Your devil and his fall. Leviathan and its kind deserve the same fate. They once unleashed a plague that has haunted all of our history to this day. I say their own hell is the abyss you found them in. One I hope they never escape from.
Damn.
Commander.
Remember when Lucifer fell and then won the war, and then God went into hiding and it was like, nah, shut up, he's gonna find us.
Okay. Mission.
Horizon.
No fair. I hadn't joined up with you yet.
Fine, the Dead Reaper then.
Really? The husks just ran up to us.
Have you ever noticed that I carry a sniper rifle? You're the one who likes things at short range.
And you prefer to keep everything at a distance.
Oh, that's deep.
Exactly. Wait, what?
Creepiest thing we fought.
The Thorian. But wait, what did you mean?
I didn't mean anything. I'm going with the Rachni.
The Queen? But we didn't fight her either time.
No, the little ones. They look like spiders and they scuttle right toward you.
Ooh.
I thought you liked it when things got up close and personal.
I guess it depends on who it is.
Bro, are these flirt lines initiated because of how hard you fucked up? Is there a situation where the game might be like, hold on a minute, there's enough of a chance here, so, like, so Tali's like, I'ma just, you know, possibilities are open.
Oh.
But are we looking at a situation where the threshold is so low that they're just openly like, anyways, what's up with you?
Right in front of me?
Right in front of you. That's what it appears to be that way.
I seem to be getting that feeling.
Because the flame was there at a point.
Yeah. And then I think a tsunami came over.
I think so.
I think so.
A blue
So we have
tsunami
Leviathan.
that you also
Now
drowned
stays
in.
on our side. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming by.
All right.
I can't even pretend throwing you under the tally bus is effective because your heart was never in it to begin with. You said words, but you didn't mean them.
Commander?
Man, I don't need any of them. I don't need anyone. Or anything. I'm just doing this for the galaxy.
Diana Allers, that's who.
Commander? Do we need to talk, Commander?
What's going on?
You know what? What's
Talk to us, Reggie. Talk us through.
end of the road?
Talk us through this process that we've been approaching. We've been playing a game of wiffle ball.
She's been saying things the whole time, like giving me hope.
Right.
But maybe she's just like all the others.
But what's
You know what? The only thing that's true at this point is Cortez. What is she doing on the ship right now? You know what? I could have a Leviathan in that room. Could have a new friend.
Are you like I don't I don't understand where or why this is at the forefront of your mind. But you appear to be very driven towards this content. So do your thing, man. It's your Red Shepherd. I like, you know, you stare at it and you pause and you wait for me and the universe to react to give you some sort of guidance here. But you clearly appear to have made up your mind in some degree. I don't know what the results of this are, and I don't know where it goes, but bruh, this is the third time in a short period. Do your thing, man. I don't know.
Not right now, Allers.
Let me know when we do.
Are you aware of some content that might occur on the other side of this, or?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, all right. Are you just really upset and trying to go your own way? like what? Where is this anger being directed, man?
It's not anger. I think it's not anger.
Dude, it's not great. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's not great. It's a little bit troubling. You know?
Commander.
Oh, so now I can't engage, huh? Okay. Cool.
I mean, the last time I heard about anything relating to that, it was as simple as, do you not want the cameo character? Does it bug you? Then fine, get rid of it.
Wish I could have been with you. But if we were together in that tight space, never mind. How am I supposed to concentrate with you hanging around?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm a catch, right?
I was like, say one nice thing about him, even. Like, what do we, what?
With the Leviathan on our side, maybe we pull this thing off after all.
Maybe, James.
At least Anne's still around to see her dad's work finally pay off.
Anyway, if there is a conversation to be had with Tali, I am curious about what it is. Because in the meantime, her and Garrus are just fucking like, you know, they're throwing it out there.
Right in my face.
Playing a game of fucking catch.
Right in my freaking face.
Damn. Nerve stem off.
All right. So Tali on the Citadel, they say.
I mean, do you expect?
I have very low fuel.
You do have very low fuel. There you go. You expect everyone to just sit around forever and chill and while you fuck around. You know, just everyone just got to sit and wait and see what you decide to do here at the end of all things. Hope to get chosen.
I'm the chosen one. I don't need to be chosen again. Shit.
Nobody, no, that's not, I was not talking about you. We all know you're the chosen one. I'm saying, should the others wait to hope that the chosen one chooses them? Or should they live their lives? You answered a completely different question. Yes, it's all about you. That's the problem. How dare your friends be happy, bro?
You're clear to dock, Normandy. Do you need ground transport?
Where is she? Right,
here, go find her quick. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Commander.
Okie doke. I'm gonna try to find her. Where is she? Tally is in Presidium Commons.
Spectre status recognized.
One moment, please. Oh, how's... Am I gonna take another L? What's going on? Man. Avina was nice. I'm gonna go slowly. Because I'm waiting for Woolie to put his dong away. So she's in the courtyard. Man. Yeah, she was here earlier, right? I didn't realize how broken my heart was. I mean, not broken. I'm already taken, right? Yeah. All right, you're back.
You know, I know a couple. I didn't hear what you were just saying, but I was just thinking that I know a couple people, and I've heard enough from friends over the years that are self-sabotagers, and it's always a fascinating thing to hear in retrospect. We're just like, so then you did what? Why? How the fuck did we? Just baffling. But I've never seen it happening slow motion in front of me in the process. It's so much wilder when you're in the car as it's crashing and going over the cliff. Because all I ever get to do is hear about it after the fact over a beer and go, what the but why? Why'd you do that? And I don't know. I just, right? And then it's just a sad fucking story. But now I'm in the car watching the mistakes happen. The clutch is stabilized. And it's like, oh, this is what it looks like when the fucking worst of it starts going down. When it makes no sense. Okay, got it. Oh, it's not a Tally alone. Interesting.
What's going on? You wanted to talk?
Of course. We can have ships at the colony in 36 hours. Do you need medical support?
No, evacuating the colony is more than enough. Thank you, Ambassador.
Ambassador?
I'm coordinating actions for the fleet while we're here. Evacuating colonies, bolstering Turian defense lines. Huh. I think it was right here. 3 years ago to the day.
What?
This was where Saren's assassins fired at me. I'd just gotten to the Citadel. I didn't think I needed my barriers up. My mistake.
And then we met you in the hallway.
Saren had assassins after you?
Right. I disabled the Geth and found that recording that proved he was working with the Reapers. I went to Ilium and tried to inform the authorities, but Saren's mercenaries attacked me. I barely escaped. I stowed away on a Turian freighter and came out here. I thought I was safe.
Well, good thing you met me, huh? I'm sorry that happened to you.
You never told me about this. How bad was it?
Got me in the arm. They used polonium rounds. I was running a fever in minutes. It was the first time I'd been really hurt on my pilgrimage. I ran to the council embassy, asked for protection, offered the data on Seren. The Turian clerk called me Suit Rat.
Wow.
He threatened to have me tossed off the station if I didn't leave.
I wish that clerk could see you now.
He just did. That was him back there. I don't think he remembers me.
Damn. That's crazy.
Well, how about you go and remind him?
Things were crazy back in the days when there was no reloading.
Yeah, let's go talk to him. Let's be like, remember when you called me a suit rat? And he'll be like, oh, that was you? Damn, girl, I didn't know. You're looking mighty fine now. And you just shut him down.
Maybe we should go have a little talk with that clerk.
I spent 3 years waiting to come back and make his life hell. But when I finally saw him, he was just a clerk whose people desperately need help.
Which they'll get, thanks to you. Nice work, Ambassador.
Okay.
This war is more important than grudges and
Renegade
prejudice.
denied.
Is it though?
Maybe he and I both needed to grow up a little.
The difference is that you helped when it counted.
Thanks, Shepard. So did you.
We can always go rinse his face off in a toilet and then make fun of him for being barefaced.
Everything looks so peaceful.
Isn't that right?
In here, you can almost forget about the war. I never get tired of looking at this place.
On fire.
I never thought they'd let a Quarian up here. The Presidium is so beautiful. Everything looks so peaceful.
All right. Well, that's done. She's at peace, right?
Red, would it help if you unlocked a Superman outfit?
Hello, Shepard.
Would that make things a little
Nice to
better?
see you.
A little easier?
I missed this place. It's good to be off ship for a while. Hello again.
You know those closets with no doors?
I mean, look, man. We can do anything if we talk to Edie. We can make the renovations. Kasumi already knows the corners. So, you just tell us how you want to play this and we'll make it happen.
Oy. Man, I'm really going my own way.
I mean, look. Might need to change your class to sniper.
Recognized. Please select a destination. 1 moment, please.
Yeah, Vanguard's a little too up close and personal, you know? A little too you're in the action a little bit too much. You might need to back off and
Have you discovered a way
you know,
to run FTL spaceships without an ESO core?
peep the scenario from a distance.
Then consider this a serious assignment.
Oy. Alright. Alright. Let's do some codex.
Shall we?
We got some new entries.
Boy, do we.
Tuchanka, the Asari homeworld, Thessia, is the core of the largest economy in the Milky Way.
Is this old voice or new voice?
The planet's reserves of element
Scroll
zero
down.
are so vast that they affect its price galaxy-wide.
New.
Because life on Thessia evolved in an ESO-rich environment, the world is home to a wealth of both biotically active and ESO-resistant species. Travel to the planet is strictly controlled, but smuggling remains an issue. Thessia is host to varying republics instead of a single government, and although each maintains a formidable military, it is notable for having long been free of internal or external wars. The Asari are renowned for their cultural and political dominance, and they excel in ambassadorial ventures. They have a strong presence in Citadel politics and galactic policy. However, it is the unfocused political structure of their homeworld that has left the Thessians unprepared for the current conflict.
Fair.
Tuchanka,
Left to their own devices, man. The Asari slowly take over the universe, you know? They don't gotta stress it.
Oh man, there's so many things.
What do we got? Do you need, shall I assume direct control for assistance?
If you want to.
Assuming direct control. Because of their long lifespan, Asari tend to have a long view, not common in other races. I think this is the same.
Might be.
Yeah, we've read this.
Okay. Asari government.
Mm-hmm. These are old, yeah. That's it for the council races. Omega reclaimed. Omega secrets. Oh, well.
Okay. The Adjutant, code name for experimental subjects created at a secret facility beyond the Omega-4 relay. Based on Reaper technology and encountering on Omega, they have the ability to infect any life form to create a new Adjutant. They are deadly pack hunters. Initially remain hidden, observing potential victims and distracting them with subtle whispers. When they select a target, adjutants ambush them with charged projectiles that create a violently unstable mass effect field that causes severe disorientation and renders the target helpless. Enhanced muscle tissue gives adjutant the ability to leap surprising distances, allowing them to close in and infect their target quickly. Their baseline form does not match any known species. Xenobiologists suspect that the Reapers may have originally created and implemented the virus several cycles before the Prothean extinction, and that it still carries genetic traces of its original host. If this is true, then like the Collectors, the Adjutants are a glimpse into the distant past at a species whose very existence and struggle against the Reapers has long been forgotten.
Funny how none of that is conveyed in when they show up and you just shoot them and then they die. You know?
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of words to explain something that sounds interesting that is just not at all conveyed in the actual process of fighting them, you know? Yeah, I mean, not everything's like that. When the Reapers had when the Collectors had the giant thing with the multiple skulls in it, like you kind of had to stop a second and go, what the fuck am I looking at, actually? Which is cool, because then you want to read the lore on it, you know? But big blue monster drops in and died. Okay, cool. Though the initial invasion of Omega was successful, Cerberus was soon faced with the problem of controlling the station's large and often lawless population. An initial solution was to establish detainment areas bordered with impassable force fields, believed to be sheets of plasma suspended in a magnetic field. As Cerberus tightened control of the station, units that could pass freely through the force fields to police the populace became necessary, loading Cerberus engineers to recover Loki security mechs from the remaining Eclipse mercenary chapters. When upgraded with Cerberus proprietary mini-fabrication technology, shielding recovered from Omega's Element Zero processing plants, and additional ablative armor, the result was the Rampart mech, a flexible combat unit designed for control and intimidation of Omega's inhabitants. Rampart mechs can seek out targets or troublemakers anywhere on Omega, and even lower industrial areas where radiation can be intense. It's fitted with an infrasound and scent markers that are fight or flight triggers for several species and are intended to subdue or disperse a crowd. When necessary, Rampart mechs can channel all available power into generating high-intensity shield that defends against hacking or biotic attacks and weapon fire, protecting the Rampart until reinforcements arrive. For combat, most Rampart mechs are equipped with a standard-issue shotgun. If damaged beyond repair, the Rampart mech destroys the shotgun's aluminium alloy heat dispersal sinks, coating any nearby assailants in red-hot residue that burns through armor. No period. In extreme situations, the Rampart mech overclocks into a hunter-killer mode, diverting power from its unique shields to single-mindedly destroy its target. In this mode, the Rampart mech moves faster, attacking with a flash-forged Omni Blade that targets unprotected nerve clusters and immobilizes the luckless target. The Rampart also channels excess heat through dispersal sinks, visibly burning off material to create an intimidating display as it advances. You know, all of that sounds a hell of a lot like the mechs in Titanfall with the abilities that you could actually do in combat when you use them. But it's awesome lore to have for something that we won't see, I suppose. Yeah. It's really interesting to like see a thing and it's like, oh, that's a basic thing, and then have this like really detailed lore on that after the fact when it doesn't feel like it's part of the gameplay of it in a way. And you know, it's not always going to be the case, certainly, but I kind of feel like when we would encounter things in Doom, there'd be times where you'd be like, you going into the lore on it, and it would feel like what you were dealing with threateningly was Like, there was some connection.
The creation to it was directly influencing the combat or the look or something.
Yeah, right? If you're going to list off a bunch of cool things the mech can do that never happen.
Yeah, that's garbage.
We're just going to sit here and go, oh, well, it was a walking turret, but, I mean, it's cool, though, I guess.
Nyreen Kandros, born to a family with a long-honored tradition of military service. Kandros left the Turian military after the emergence of her biotic abilities. Off suspicious of biotics, the Turians shipped Nyreen off to the Cabal units, where her abilities and experience were grossly underutilized. After several years as a mercenary, she was drawn to Omega by its reputation as a haven for capable freelancers. Nyreen's early years on Omega were a pivotal time for her. Arya Tiloak took an interest in Kandros, helping her hone her biotic talents while developing her military experience and skills to their full potential. Arya also allowed Nyreen the time she needed to reconcile with her new way of life and her unexpected and initially unwanted abilities. The two eventually parted ways due to irreconcilable differences, but Nyreen Kandros remained on Omega. Upon Arya's return to the station after the Cerberus invasion, Nyreen revealed herself as the leader of the Talons. Reformed under her leadership, the Talons are Omega's newfound symbol of resistance against the Cerberus occupiers.
Status: fridged.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I wonder, just back on that stuff with the adjutants and the mechs, like, you kind of wonder if, like, the design document intended for their behavior to be actually that complex, and then the reality of game design was like, no. We have a pattern. Here it is.
Put them in and
let's change
do a few things.
Life bar change color. Go. Turian Cabals are an elite biotic Turian unit whose dictum is the intangible is unstoppable. As Turian biotics are relatively rare, with biotic abilities manifesting only in a small percentage of Element 0 exposed Turians, Cabals tend to be small and only comprised of 10 to 15 individuals led by a commanding officer called a Cabalum. A Turian Cabal is often deployed covertly as shock troops or saboteurs, or they're sent on long reconnaissance missions for the hierarchy. In addition to the advanced biotic training, all Cabal soldiers are highly skilled in small arms, explosives, infiltration tactics, and piloting. Centuries ago, during the Unification Wars, military Black Ops would recruit Turian biotics as infiltrators, planting them anonymously in regular infantry as observers, or using them as assassins. The historical practice has left a cultural bias against biotic soldiers among the Turian rank and file. As a result, the Turian hierarchy prefers to keep its Cabals isolated from other branches of the military, citing safety and unit cohesion concerns. Even Turians whose biotic abilities are not combat proficient are segregated into Cabals, often forcing them to cut short their promising careers in order to serve as a medic or maintenance officer. However, Cabal soldiers are professionals. Those who do not adapt are quickly weeded out, resulting in strongly unified teams of experienced, deadly biotic warriors who see their isolation as necessary sacrifice to protect the hierarchy. The war with the Reapers means that the Turian hierarchy no longer has the luxury of keeping such powerful assets in reserve. Many Cabals have been recalled to Palaven, while the most experienced have been dispatched to the front lines for surgical strikes on Reaper strongholds or to provide support for regular infantry. It's interesting how, like, in a world where Jedi and Sith are found naturally, and then, like, you're born with the ability or the potential, and then you have to learn the ability, the risk of, like, a class like that dominating everything is much higher. But in a situation where you have to, like, more or less create them via experimentation, and then, you know, like, you more like after creating them, then you can put them through a fucking insane military school rank and file output, you don't necessarily get that type of situation. Like, you have Jacqueline and her students that are just kind of like, man, it sucks that our upbringing was as awful as it was, but we're gonna try to, like, you know, make it. And then Caden's fucked up, and everyone's like, yeah, being a Jedi in this world ain't great. My implant sucks, and all these things are going off. And you're like, oh, in any other situation, these people would be like the upper class of this entire galaxy because they have psychic powers, and you'd think they'd be a lording, ruling class of psychics above everyone else, but no, not at all.
Oh, Amber Alert.
Yeah.
Ontarome. 16 years ago, Systems Alliance established the first dish field on Ontarome, defying the tidal disruptions and electrical storms that periodically sweep across the planet. The facility has since grown into a crucial communications hub for the Alliance. Trade between the Alliance base and nearby human settlements sustains planetary unity. The Alliance also trains and hires colonists to maintain the quantum communicators, further strengthening the bond between locals and the military forces that use the comm stations. Although most of the communication relays serve the military, a coalition of Ontarome's businesses has begun construction on a civilian broadcast hub. The local Alliance commander has offered the help of the military's technical experts, making Ontarome a symbol of civilian and military cooperation. And that is it for planets and lokes. And then ships.
The A-61 Mantis gunship.
Yeah.
Workhouse of the mercenary bands of the galaxy. The Mantis is a 2-man vector thrust aircraft that excels in close air support roles. Did we read about the Mantis already?
It said new, but I mean, I don't think there was gonna be any like lore things aside from tech stuff.
Let's see. No FTL drive.
The tech notes.
Cool gunship. Baton Rouge.
Reach Moscow in a few hours.
Okay.
And can come back home
without having
to refuel. Well, that's good.
Okay, here we go.
The darkness.
Okay. Essentially, nothing was known of the aquatic species dubbed Leviathans before Commander Shepard's report to Task Force Aurora. No record of their species' true name exists, no ruins are attributed to their civilization, and no influence on other races has been recorded. Well, we did see the cave drawings, but
that was it.
Let's pretend we didn't. The task force can only conjecture based on the limited information provided by Shepard. Their current world is unlikely their homeworld, so it's surmised that the Leviathans mastered technology and spaceflight despite their immense size and aquatic nature. Their ability to communicate with and mentally dominate land-based sapients would have been a necessary step, and so whatever homeworld the Leviathans hail from would have included a thrall species whose civilization served their purposes. Presumably their bodies can withstand both the extreme pressure of the depths and the lesser pressure of a coastal area where they might come into contact with these thralls. Transporting a creature the size of a Leviathan into space would have been a significant engineering challenge. It is likely they used EZO for their ease of travel, as the Hanar do, and employed cybernetic filtration to breathe air as well as oxygenated water. It is unknown if the Leviathans have modified themselves with the equivalent of a biotic amplifier, but it seems probable. The faster-than-light communication of their pulses would require precise control previously unknown to modern science. One can only guess at the innovations of the species, and the Leviathans are volunteering no such information. Well, they made the fucking relays, so, or they made the things that made the relays. Okay. Everything's a servant, and that's how we get shit done.
The Reaper War. Desperate measures. Faced with utter annihilation, military planners have considered extreme solutions in their quest to stop the Reapers. The two most plausible are the destruction of mass relays and the use of starships as suicide weapons. Destroying a mass relay to stop the Reapers' advance is infeasible. Although it has recently been proven that mass relays can be destroyed, a ruptured relay liberates enough energy to ruin any terrestrial world in the relay's solar system. It would take too long to evacuate the millions or billions of people living near each relay.
We know
the Council
this.
is unwilling to sacrifice that many lives when combat stands a chance of saving them. Even if a garden world were to survive the relay's destruction, the Reapers have infinite patience. They travel out of dark space using conventional FTL travel within the galaxy is not an insurmountable barrier. or travel within the galaxy is not an insurmountable barrier. Meanwhile, starships are too costly to be used as projectiles, given that it would take many collisions to seriously harm a Reaper. Some armchair admirals suggest that a single starship traveling faster than light could obliterate a Reaper capital ship, but all ships based on Mass Effect technology possess hardwired safety features to prevent FTL collisions. If a ship's FTL plotter finds a significant object in the path of a planned jump, the FTL drive refuses to fire in the first place. This is not a perfect safety feature. The sensors can only scan for objects within a reasonable distance at light speed, and a navigator must plot the rest of the course, but it is so inherent to the FTL warm-up process that removing it is nigh impossible. Cynical intelligence analysts note that the secret of Mass Effect technology, including that safety system, has always been attributed to the Protheans, just as the mass relays were.
Star Wars The Last Jedi, 2017. It's interesting to consider too as well that, like, even if you survived the destruction of a mass relay, you're basically dead in the water because, like, yeah, people can come to you the slow way, but who the fuck is gonna, right? For resources, for resupply, re-ups, anything emergency related, like if you're an island nation and then we stop using your airport and flying planes to you, it's like, all right, well, boats will still pass by if they want to, maybe sometimes. Good luck, like, there's just one of those things that is like, there's the nearest relay is where, and then we got to go where to do what. Like, yeah, it's probably just a death sentence for that system and its planets either way in the long run. This is new as well.
The fall of Thessia
did not go as smoothly as the Reaper's strikes against other races. While other species met the Reapers head-on, the Asari resorted to dangerous hit-and-run tactics to harass their attackers. By engaging in guerrilla strategies, blasting a Reaper ship, jumping into FTL where they could not be tracked, the Asari forced the Reapers to remain on the defensive. Unfortunately, the Reapers' greater numbers allowed them to accept certain losses, so they soon ignored the attacks against them and began orbital bombardment of Thessia. This in turn forced the Asari to defend their homeworld with a more traditional stance, facing the Reaper forces directly. As soon as the Reapers landed on Thessia, the harvesting began. Swift and brutal slaughter of the Asari ground forces followed. Resistance from trained biotics barely slowed the attackers down. In the end, Thessia's minimal military forces, combined with the unpreparedness in the face of an overwhelming enemy, resulted in the fall of the planet.
Well, they were warned. Should have done something about it.
I mean, what was the math again? Like 6 dreadnoughts and hundreds, if not thousands of shit. Like, there was an exact number that was like, you need this to take out a Reaper at the time. You can, like, there was a straight up 1-to-1 math on it that you can calculate from the last game. I don't think we're talking about those anymore now that we're in the world of Reaperitos.
Alright.
4 dreadnoughts per Reaper? Yeah. Or one big Thresher Maw. One Threshy boy.
They hate the Thresher Maws.
Can't stand him even.
Weapons acquisition, procurement interface. I was told behind the scene about something called a Garrus build. So I need to. There's some things that I need to buy.
Is that something? Is a Garrus build something you want to do?
Yeah, I'm curious about it.
What is it?
I'm supposed to give him like a bunch of stuff that makes him a badass.
Okay.
So I need the N7 Typhoon.
It's funny because, like, that sounds cool, but I think the end result is we're going to continue on these missions and blow away the enemy, and he's going to shoot and kill him, and it won't be a problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not on a difficulty where you're seeing the difference. I don't imagine. Like, it's gonna just carry on.
Okay, I need the assault rifle piercing mod 4. No. Not here. Not here.
Yeah, this is legendary difficulty, like shit, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes way more sense. Like in those situations, what your party is doing and not doing must really matter, you know. But we're just fucking we're turning pages to the story at this point. So I'm like,
okay, all right.
Let's see it. I'm sure you're on like people's nostalgia are being triggered enough to be like, yeah, like, but it's like,
fair enough.
They're killing the dudes. they're doing their job.
I kind of want to try this thing. Oh, it's pretty high up the list. Let's see how this looks like.
On the Leviathans, is it just me, or like, does the fact that they're like aquatic based make them seem a bit even lamer?
Yeah, they're hiding underwater.
Like, I kind of didn't take that as
Jesus,
it's underwater because it has to be. I thought it was like, oh, that's because they can. But now that we're reading it, it's like, oh, they're actually just jellyfish for reals.
That's bullets. That's pretty good. Okay. And I would have to like level this thing up, which is upgrades.
I mean, I suppose it depends on whether or not they need water, or whether it's just a comfort, but they can float out and do their thing without it, right? The idea that it's like gonna flop on land and gasp like a fish.
They're just stuck underwater.
Not impressive, but if it's like, you know, it's a comfort thing, then never mind.
Alright, spend some money. Alright, that sounds good.
Doesn't mean I think sea monsters are lame. Doesn't mean I think the deep is not filled of scary things. You've heard me say otherwise tons of times. I'm saying if the god progenitor unfathomable race of Reaper creators gets pushed into that category, it's a far cry from what I kind of wanted.
Commander.
So what do you got to put on him?
I got these weapons that I can put on him, and
I think you can do so at the actual, like, loadout terminal.
In the armor?
Wasn't there a team dress-up menu?
I would need to have him with me, right?
Oh, maybe not then.
Yeah,
okay.
And, yeah, that's... Yeah, maybe Asuna could send you the information so that you could see what I'm thinking of.
What did you want, Woolie? Like a genuine question, what would your ideal revelation have been? I don't know. As a passenger on this story, it's hard for me to say. I can only say how I guess I feel about what I encounter as I encounter it. I am not a writer. I certainly can't pretend to be someone who would have wrapped things up in a better way. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we're still on that journey.
Okay. I guess
I suppose the only thing I can say is, based on the conversation I had you know, about this earlier, like podcast related stuff, it's like something that keeps in mind the reasons why we thought the threat was so intimidating to begin with, something that keeps that and then adds to it, or even replaces it, or twists it, or expands on it in a way that it doesn't feel like we're just downgrading with extra details. Not to keep going over it, but we reference Firefly, Attack on Titan, and I want to say there was another example of like the big reveal that is actually really good. You know, that doesn't feel like you're diminishing the initial awe of what you experienced. I think what we got just unfortunately does that. But it's hard to say what invisible thing would have been a better choice. You know,
is there a skill that I should try here, like dominate, or is there something that looks interesting here? Was it flare? Did we try flare?
I don't think so. You don't get to do scroll down.
That's snap.
Lash. Okay.
Okay, no, let's...
Sure. Lash sounds cool too.
Sounds pretty cool. Big damage.
Aria's abilities.
Oh, that's badass.
Pocket nuke.
Damage and force or radius. And then there's radius here by 50. Damage and done to shields and barrier. I could stack him. And then recharge speed. Big cut. Force, damage, impact radius. No, okay. Let's go here. Here. And here. That sounds good. And then I need to assign my points to Garrus whenever he gets on the team. I bought a flare.